All right, so we have talked about adding integers, and now we're going to go moving on with subtracting integers. It is extremely important that you think to yourself each and every time, what am I doing to these two integers? Because now we have a set of rules for adding, and now we're going to have a set of rules for subtracting. So it's going to start getting to where you have all these sets of rules, and you're going to end up mumble-jumbling them all together, hodgepodging them together, if you do not take the time to say, what am I doing to these two integers? What rules do I need to follow? Don't try to have them memorized all at once and be like, oh yeah, I know what to do. I'm just going to move on. You need to slow down because you have a test September 13th, right? I've already told y'all that. September 13th, you have a test. And if from now to then, every single time that you do integers, you look at these rules that we have up here, and follow each and every step. If you notice, this set of rules helps you each and every single time. All right. Whatever you want. Whatever helps you the most. Whichever. Whatever I have. Okay. So, the subtracting integer rules, you're gonna hear this all the time. Keep, change, change. Everybody say that.
Keep, change, change.
Again.
Keep, change, change.
Again.
Keep, change, change.
And we use keep, change, change only when we're doing what? Subtracting integers.
Subtracting integers.
All right. So the keep says that we're going to keep the first integer. So the first integer will not change. If it's a -5, it stays a -5. If it's a +5, it stays a +5. No way, no how do you do you change the first integer. Then we change, remember keep, change, we change the subtraction sign to an addition sign. You're like, what? You can't start just changing things around just to make it easier. Got to get with me. You have to do this all simultaneously, all at the same time. So if you're keeping the first integer, changing the subtraction to an addition, you can't forget, and I'm going to circle this one, because that one's pretty important. Because a lot of my students know, okay, I'm subtracting integers, I got to keep, change, change, but all they do is keep, change. And then so we keep the sign, or keep the first integer, change the subtraction to an addition, and then last, we change the second integer to its opposite. So if it's a negative, we change it to a positive. If it's a positive, we change it to a negative. All right, I'm going to write that off over here. Positive, change to negative. Negative, change to a positive. Just in case we might need to remember that. Bless you. Now, we did some transformation of this. We did our keep, change, change. We kept this. We kept the first integer. We changed the subtraction to an addition, and then we changed the second integer to its opposite. But we still haven't solved it. But now, since we were magic and we did all that change, now what did we just make that problem become?
An addition problem.
An addition problem. Huh. I know how to do the addition problems because we just spent several days on it, right? So after I've done my magical keep, change, change, and I've made it an addition problem, Now I follow my what? Addition rules. So we're going to walk through some. And I absolutely love this particular activity because it makes you slow down. A lot of my pre-AP especially want to just fly through. They see the problem and they say, oh, I already know the answer, I'm done. I know every one of you can do 9 minus 4 because you've been doing it since you're in the 1st grade. I know you could tell me the answer, but can you follow rules? And that's what we want to establish, is to make sure that you're following these rules. Even on the ones that you can do in your head, I want you to follow the rules. We started with a very easy one that all of you know what the answer is. Does everybody know what that answer is?
5.
Very good. Everybody knows that 9 minus 4 is 5. So let's see what it looks like when we are following these rules. All right. I noticed that in this problem, what am I doing to my 2 integers? Listen. What am I doing to these 2 integers? Okay. So I'm subtracting the integers. I want to make sure I'm following my subtracting integer rules. And the first one says I need to keep, change, change. It's all simultaneous. That's one step. Keep, change, change. So we keep, we change, we change. This is a what type of integer now?
Negative.
Negative, and we want to change it to a?
Negative.
It's positive, and we want to change it to a?
Negative.
Does everybody see that? Right here and there, I did keep, change, change was all one complete full movement. I didn't say keep it, then change it, then change it. It was all one move. We did it all together all at once. Okay? Keep, change, change. We kept it, we changed it, we changed it. Now it is what type of problem? Addition. Now we no longer look at this problem. Now we're just looking here. Now we follow our adding integer rules, right? And the adding integer rule says, hey, are the signs alike or different? So looking right here, are the signs alike or different?
Different.
Different. So we need to go, they are different. So because they are different, we are going to find the
Difference.
Everybody with me there? Now, where we show our work, that's where we need to be making our absolute values, because we have to have absolute values, correct?
Yes.
All right, so what was the absolute value of 9?
9.
What was the absolute value of negative 4?
4.
And what did we say we were going to do with these 2 absolute values? Subtract. And then because they were different, we take the sign with a larger absolute value. Which one had a larger absolute value? 9, and 9 is carrying a... So my answer is 5 what? Positive or negative? Yes. So far so good, right? I mean, yes, you're sitting here thinking that was a lot of work, Miss Armstrong, when I didn't have to do any of this work to get to that answer. I could have just known that 9 minus 4 was 5. I understand that. But using that easy example helps to see what I mean by keep, change, change, same or different, and moving through these steps, okay? So what I want you to do, and I'm going to give you just like 30 seconds-ish, is I want you to do just the second question. I'm going to come around and see. So you're doing just the second question. want to see anybody working ahead, so do not work ahead. As much as I know you really want to, I don't want you working ahead. There will be a time and place for that. If you need to, have out your adding integer rules right next to you. Is that a problem to have your journal open to the adding integer rules?
No, ma'am.
No, because we know we're going to have to eventually do those adding rules. Remember when we talked about having to slow down? No reason why while you have this paper out right next to you, you should have your adding integer rules. Very good job, Zane. I like the way he's saying, you know what? I'm going to take her advice and I'm going to have my adding integer rules right next to it. Because once I have keep, change this, now I'm going to be adding. So I need to remember to follow my rules each and every time. I like that. All right. So I noticed that I am subtracting these two integers. So I'm going to follow my rules of keep, change. This is a positive 3, so I'm changing it to a negative 3. Now I no longer look here, and I just look at my keep, change, because now I've changed it into what type of problem? An addition. So now I look at my signs. Are they the same or different? They're the same, so I find the sum. All right, absolute value of negative 4 is? Absolute value of negative 3 is? And we said we were finding the sum, so it's going to be 7. Now I look at whether it's going to be a negative or positive 7. Both of these are carrying around what type of sign? Negative. So my answer will be a negative 7. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and skip this one here. I'm going to let you come back and do it in a minute. I do not want you doing it right now. I want to skip down to this one right here. All right. We notice that these two integers, what are we doing with those two integers? I'm subtracting, so I need to follow my subtracting integer rules. Keep, change. So I keep it, I change it, and I change it. It's a negative now, so what do I change it to? Positive. So far, so good? Yeah. I now have transformed it to a what type of problem? Addition. Are the signs the same or different? So they're different, so we find the? All right, absolute value of negative 8. Absolute value of 3. What did we say we were going to do with these two absolute values? So it's 5. Is it going to be a negative or a positive? Negative, because 8 is greater than 3 and 8's carrying around a negative. All right, so what I want you to do right now is I want you to finish this page.